Grandpa's Date is such a lovely Rugrats episode. This is the second segment of the eighth episode of the second season, and in this episode, Grandpa receives a phone call from Morgana, who was a woman he was dating 40 years ago. And there's this lovely flashback scene of a young Lou Pickles running towards a train, desperate to stop her before the train leaves, and it's so sweet and really cool to see Grandpa back in the day. And Morgana asks if she can see him that night. She's only in town for one day. And he's supposed to be babysitting Tommy and Chuckie, so he decides to put them to bed a little too early and hide the fact that he has grandchildren and invites her over. And she comes over, and Tommy and Chuckie are confused about why Grandpa put them to bed before the sun went away and why they didn't get to eat ice cream and watch Reptar as he had promised. So they get out of the crib and investigate and also try and help a little as well, as Grandpa rekindles this very brief flame from his former years. And it's really sweet. I love anything that highlights the fact that older people have needs and desires and, you know, regrets about their past that they maybe want to rekindle. And I think that it's something that's really lovely because usually when Grandpa has a story in the Rugrats, certainly until this point, he's the butt of the joke. So it's kind of nice to see him more as a human rather than just as a source of comedy. And I thought it was so lovely and so sweet. Morgana was a nice character. I liked how she was animated. Absolutely no problems there. There are several other things that I liked, including a quote, which I'll tell you in a moment. But we have some really good music in this. Stu's remote control sofa device is pretty entertaining, and I'd forgotten about it until a pivotal point, and it rather amused me. And well, the quote and one other thing I want to mention happen right at the end, so I guess spoiler warning for something that happens at the end of the episode. But at the end, Grandpa says something that I think is so lovely. And he says, "There's no point in wishing the past was different, not when you've got so much going for you now." And that's to say that, yes, he has regrets about how things ended with Morgana, but the way his life turned out, he's got these two wonderful, no, one wonderful grandchild. Doyle isn't born yet. Um, and of course, a family and a pretty good lot in life. And I think that that's something that we can all do well to remember, especially if we've got things to be thankful for. If our past had been different, maybe that wouldn't be the case. And I think it was just really lovely and a really nice sentiment to end the episode on. And then the episode faded out with a heart. It was just beautiful. It was so sweet and so moving. A great Grandpa episode. Very well animated, great pacing. Tommy and Chuckie were delightful. No complaints whatsoever. Grandpa's Date is definitely a really good episode of Rugrats.